right, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. I'm now joined by our personality interview for the day. I have with me Irene Ngendo, who is actually Miss Africa. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You beat out 22 girls from various countries to emerge the year's winner of Miss Africa. And you are also Miss Jomo Kenyatta University for 2018-2019 and Miss Progress Kenya 2019's reigning queen.
Yes.
You're just all about the crowns, huh?
I guess so.
Congratulations, though, on all of those.
Thank you.
Is Miss Africa, though, certainly must feel like the grandest one of them all right now.
It is, because right now I'm not representing just my country, Kenya. I'm actually representing our continent. So
Yes.
that's like an international platform, yeah.
Tell me about the competition. How was it?
Well, they had their auditions here in Kenya for the first time. It's a competition held in Nigeria, Calabar, the Cross River State in Calabar. So that's why it's called Miss Africa Calabar.
Okay.
But it's just a general competition for every African country, and as long as there's a representative in your country, then your country gets to participate.
Okay.
They usually have their auditions in Nigeria and the country of the reigning queen during the time of their audition, and South Africa. That's what they normally do. But then this last year, they actually had their first auditions in Kenya.
Okay.
And we're actually planning, because now I'm part of them, we're actually planning to be having regional auditions. So in North Africa, South, East, and West.
Okay.
And then now in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. How did you get into doing pageants?
Oh my God, you cannot believe it, because I did not think this is something that I would do.
Okay.
I have always been into modeling, because growing up, people were like, you have the height, you walk like it, and therefore go for it. So I think it was always in my head that this is something I could do.
Yeah.
But then it was not in terms of pageantry. I always thought high fashion, just walk with someone's clothes on a runway, speak to nobody and leave. That was my kind of thing. But then as I continued to do modeling, I realized that there's this segment of pageantry, and the most powerful thing about it is that you get to not just model for yourself. It becomes you're doing this for people because you have a voice. Okay. As Miss Africa, I have a voice to speak, a platform really, to speak to Africa, to speak on issues like humanity, which was actually the theme of my year as the reigning queen. So I get to speak about humanity. And you find that in this sensitive topics, that's the answer for everything. I have to appeal to your humanity.
Okay.
When it comes to understanding each other, accepting each other, when it comes to corruption and everything. So you find at the end of the day, you have a platform to speak. That's the most important thing.
What specifically on humanity do you really want to lend your voice to?
So as I just said that the theme of my year is humanity, I started looking at humanitarian projects that exist, and I realized that the problem that we have with humanitarian projects is that they have become a politics of pity. Like that's what they try to portray every time. When you look at, that's why people know African stories. The stories that they know about us is starving kids in Africa, bad roads, poor health. That's what they know about us. But do they know about you and your job, or me and this platform? Do they know about just the normal, common Mwananchi who actually has something they're living for, dreams and goals, you know? So the problem with humanitarian projects is that. So as Miss Africa, I would like to come in and correct it.
Yeah.
So instead of portraying people for their challenges, I get to portray them for their strength. So it's help them not because they're so sad and have pity on them. No, help them because they have potential and they're strong and powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said. And so now that you are reigning with all of these different titles, how is it for you? Did you grow up, say, as a shy child? Clearly with the modeling, I mean, I know you've said you didn't want to do the people engagement, but you didn't mind modeling. So there's a measure of some sort of self-confidence, I guess, that came out of that. But how do you deal for you personally with the different stereotypes that have often been thrown at models at beauty pageants.
Yes.
There's a lot of memes out there, aren't there? But of course, with looking at the current Miss World, and just, I mean, she is such a statement. Everything from her skin tone, her hair, her articulation. Do you feel that now that tide is changing and people are beginning to pay a bit more attention and say, oh, wait, that's actually a very serious point you've just made?
Yes, I understand that there has been thoughts about pageantry and models in general, and I mean especially in Africa, before we get to actually embrace something, we're very skeptical about it. People even term it as prostitution at times, like it's that serious. But then it's not. That's why as a pageant girl, I get to come out and tell people that this is actually what pageantry is about. I'm standing for something, and I am actually lending my voice to you as you're lending yours to mine. This is different. And when we get to actually be brave and take up these platforms as women and as pageant girls, we change the mindset of people.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's a typical day like? Because a lot of people they must just be like, oh my gosh, you must have a bajillion privileges right now. What's a typical day like for you? Especially because you're holding 3 different titles currently.
So a typical day, well, right now I've actually been on a break because I did not get to have my Christmas break and celebration because the Miss Africa pageant is during the Christmas period. Because right after that pageant, we go to the festival that's held in Nigeria, the Christmas festival. So there's not really been a break for me. So immediately after winning, I just came back and said, you know what, I'm taking a break. I'm going to breathe. And yeah, so lately it hasn't been much, but then immediately I have now begun my reign. So a typical day for me would look like this, to begin with interviews, because TV, social media and everything gives us a platform to be heard more. So interviews, photo shoots, and then now actually going to perform my humanitarian projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And if you weren't doing this right now, what would you be doing?
I'm a student at JQuad.
Yeah. What are you studying, by the way?
I'm pursuing math and computer science.
Oh my goodness, she's a nerd.
But right now I'm on a break because of the rain, because it's actually very demanding, and I would not like to do 2 things and not do them well. I prefer, let me put my focus on this one right now.
I'm still on math and computer science. I've not even heard anything else you've said. I'm just like, math and computer science. Oh my goodness, that's geeky in a really exciting way.
Yeah.
To see a woman in that role.
Exactly.
And I think there's your image. This is in Nigeria? Or where is this?
That's in Nigeria.
That's in Nigeria right after you won.
It was exciting. I could not believe it.
Tell me about the emotions of that day then. When they called your name, did you feel like when you were going in, did you go in confident? Had you done your power poses and you were like, you know what, I know I can be in the top 10, top 3. I think I got this. Or what happens when they called your name?
I was very confident because I had done a lot of preparation. I actually started preparing for the pageant 6 months before. So I was doing, my day at that time looked like me practicing my walk, practicing my speaking and my public presentation and such things. So I was very prepared, and my time at the boot camp, I was seeing that I've actually given it my best, and my performance was great. So I was hoping to win, but then there are 22 beautiful girls who are just as strong and just as prepared. So at that point, I was like, God, this is you, your grace, and that's the far that my work can get me. This is now you. So let's do this.
Sure. Amazing. I have to go back to math and computer science. How did you end up studying that?
Well, I took computer in Form 3 and Form 4. I took computer and I liked it so much because I think for me, maybe it's the movies, because for me, I'm like, I want to do that thing where I get my laptop and do some few things, and then you're like, whoa. What did you just do? You just solved something. That's what I wanted to do at first. So I just started like simply just like that. But then the more I went into it, the more I wanted to understand how to actually do this. And I saw that this is a platform to do so much more, because I work with an organization. They're called Makaya, which they're a digital health platform. So it's providing access to medicine and such things through the internet and like through technology to women in marginalized communities. So you see, if I can do that with my math and computer science, then it's worth it.
Yeah. Amazing. And so what happens, you know, after you have to hand over the crown? Are you hoping to do even more competitions, or will you focus on your humanitarian work? Do you want to spend more time, you know, working and really engaging your math and computer science knowledge? What is it? What does the future look like for you?
I feel like when you know where God's grace is for your life, then you need to put yourself there. And I feel like this is where it is for now. So after this, I am planning to engage a lot more competitions and hoping to go for, you know, the final crown, Miss Universe. So I'm planning to do those things, and as well as engage the humanitarian projects, because that's the point of being a beauty queen.
Tell me about your thoughts about our current Miss Universe, Miss World. Because you also have short natural hair. She has short natural hair. And in many ways, that's a shocker to see, right? On that sort of runway. So what sort of inspiration do you draw from her right now, considering she's a sub-Saharan African, right? And you're gunning for the same in your future. What is it that you look to her and you know, hope to draw from?
Zozi, that's her name. It's Miss Universe. She is beautiful. There was actually a time when I was competing for Miss Africa where people were putting pictures of me and her together, and they're like, the next Miss Africa looks like the current Miss Universe. I'm like, okay, I see you guys, okay. And I feel like it's so inspiring to see a woman actually go there and be her true, authentic self and not be apologetic about it. That's the best thing. And actually gave me more confidence to actually go with my natural hair on stage, because I did. And I wanted to, but then I felt no one wins this pageant with their natural hair. And then she comes out and she does it. I'm like, girl, yes, we can do this. So I think it's really inspiring to see that. And it just makes me want to actually go and get it and be part of the changing narrative community.
And let's talk about that then, because certainly beauty standards have been set for us for a very long time. Right? That one has to be very fair-skinned, have this long, luscious, flowy hair that yani kichano isisimame mahali. Ukijana inafaa iende tu shwe. Right? So beauty standards have certainly been set for us for a very long time. And the result of it has been a lot of young girls who question their whole existence by their appearance, you know, their esteem, because they don't look like the people we see in the billboards. There's no reflection of us in the billboards or in the magazines or on the TV roles. So, you know, now as someone, obviously, beauty is a huge part of what you're judged on, basically, in these competitions that you take part in. What would be the things that you would tell young girls watching today? Like, what matters the most as far as what actual beauty really is?
Actually, like a point of correction, we are not judged by a beauty in beauty pageants. I think that's why, I know it's called beauty pageants, people are like, no, then you're judging the beauty. But no, beauty is your brains, what you have in your heart. So it's correct that it's called a beauty pageant. We shouldn't feel like we need to change that name to begin with. So we're not judged by a beauty, we're judged by...
It's only because you said, for example, like hair.
It's
very like
it's because of that
our natural hair has never been considered beautiful for a stage like that. You know what I mean?
And that's why I love platforms such as Miss Africa. That's why I joined to want to compete, because this is Africans taking up space and saying we don't need to go to an international pageant outside of Africa to validate ourselves. We know what we are about, because if you see the girls at Miss Africa, they are African with their hair, with their body. There's no certain way and certain size that you have to be to join Miss Africa. And that's why I joined in, because I was like, this is a platform that is accepting us for just who we are and then seeing what we have to offer. This is giving me hope, because this is Africans creating something for themselves, believing in themselves and giving into the young girls of their society.
All right. Very interesting. And for someone who maybe is interested in trying out modeling, what sort of tips would you give them, whether beauty-wise or health-wise, confidence-wise? What would be your tips if you would share then with the young girls watching today?
Well, just like you said, confidence. That's the number one tip to go with, because you might have the best walk, in the best body, the best face, but if you're not confident and you've not gotten to know yourself well enough, then you're not going to appreciate it. So really the tip that I would give girls if you are competing is confidence. Just start there. And confidence is driven from a place where you start accepting yourself for who you are, and then engaging with yourself. Find out what is it that you like and understand more about yourself. So start there. Start engaging with yourself.
Right. Yeah. And part of that confidence really is how someone, carries themselves too. Their posture, very, very important. So you're seated upright. And that also translates in the way one walks.
Yes.
So we're going to put you to the test.
Oh my God, no. Okay.
Just a small one. Just to show people here, how to walk confidently. I'm not going to say how to walk like a model, but just how to walk, with your head high, your posture is correct, and just how to present yourself well. So I shall give you my circle.
Do I walk around it?
You can just walk from that edge to the middle.
Okay.
But, just to demonstrate this confidence and how you're saying, because really, confidence translates in our bodies.
Exactly.
Right? If you're not confident, you're going to be that person like you're always sitting in a corner and you're hunched up, like you walk into a room like you're trying to sneak inside so that people don't see you. But if you're confident, like you lift your head high, your shoulders are raised back, like this, it translates into your body. It really does. And so hopefully you can demonstrate that for us.
Hopefully. So
Go ahead.
I think I'm so used to walking like a model, so I might walk like a model.
Okay.
But the point of confidence is that your shoulders they go down actually, not up. This is not confident. This looks like I'm shying away. So they go down, and then your neck, you stretch it out, be it as tall as you can be. It's actually usually pretty hard for people who are tall, because you find yourself slouching and you want to get to everyone else.
Shorter.
Yeah. But this is confidence.
Okay.
And then now you need to just do your normal walk, because I'm not teaching models here.
Yeah.
But as models, we always stand in T before walking.
Okay.
And then you do your walk.
There you go. That looks great.
Thank you.
Why are you sounding like you're shy about the walk right now?
Like, it's not enough
It's
space,
not enough
yo.
Oh, you want a long runway.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you.
through to the show. Congratulations to you again on all your different wins, especially Miss Africa, holding the Kenyan flag high across the continent.
We're actually going to be having a reveal of the brand, and as me, Kenyan, as Miss Africa, in the February 8th, so at Swiss Hotel. So guys, look out for that and come through.
All right, great. Well, how can people follow you? Are you on social media?
Yes. My social media handle on every platform is Renee Queen.
Okay.
Renee _ Queen.
Okay, and how do you spell Renee?
RENNIE _QUIN.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we need to take a break into our second hour, actually. Our time is moving. And so we'll be back at 9 a.m. with even more Full Circle with Joyce. Stay tuned.